Hello everybody, it's just Eamon519 here, and today we're going to be looking at should you summon on Jing Yuan's banner. Now, let's just get something out of the way, alright? I can say whether you should or shouldn't summon, but at the end of the day, you know, you should pick whichever option you like. So as a gacha veteran, I will tell you that yes, it might be fun to pull the most optimal units or maybe save for the most optimal units, but you have to really look at what is fun, because at the end of the day, you'll be looking back and thinking, hey, which character gave me the most fun, right? Of course, they actually have to work well, by the way, because you can like a character all you want, but if they're dog shit and die to everything, then obviously, you know. But Jing Yuan is luckily enough not like that. Let's start off with Jing Yuan. I'm not gonna go into extreme detail about his kid and what he does and yada yada. If I pull him and do a showcase on him, I'll probably go through his kid a lot more, but I'll just give you guys some general things that you need to know. If we were to make a DPS tier list, right? Seela would be at S and no one else would be at S. Currently, in this game. On Asia servers, the banner's already out, but like currently. Jing Yuan is the first DPS that reaches Seela's level. He is S tier with Seela. Now, there's a lot of like debate going around that, oh, Seela is better, oh, Jing Yuan is better, and I'm just sitting here like, don't worry. There is no reason to compare him. And the reason I say that is because Memory of Chaos, the hardest event in the game currently. You could argue it's Simulated Universe. I would disagree. I think Memory of Chaos is more difficult because Memory of Chaos is purely dependent on how well you have built your characters, how high level they are, how good you made the relics, how much you leveled up the traces, your team composition, what you pulled, all that kind of stuff. Well, with Simulated Universe, there's a lot of ways to really easily cheese Simulated Universe, like Abundance, which is... I don't like using Abundance personally. I find it quite boring. I prefer going Hunt or whatever, but like there is very easy ways to cheese that. The reason why Memory of Chaos and Hall of Memory, even for some of you guys, because trust me, I only recently, like 3 days ago, actually cleared Hall of Memory stage 14 and 15 on 3-star after I got my Serval to level 60. But yeah, for even for those stages, you know, getting those stars is what makes it the most difficult content in the game for me. The stars of Memory of Chaos absolutely will kick your ass straight back into your chair when you think that you are well built. So that's what we're coming to, why I don't think we need to like have a huge debate on whether Jing Yuan is better or Seela is better, because if I said Serval instead of Seela at the beginning when I said S tier, I'm sorry. I don't think I did, but if I did, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Seela is S tier, Serval is not. Then Jing Yuan would be the next S tier. And then why that's important is because in Memory of Chaos, you need to bring 2 teams. And to get the stars, you need to beat the stages within a certain amount of turns in total, carried over between the entirety of the 4 fights. This means that you want 2 S tier level DPS on both teams. You want that, especially since Seela is strong enough that she doesn't really care whether she has type advantage. And Jing Yuan is the same. He is so strong, he does not care if he has type advantage or not. Does type advantage help? Of course it does, but he does not need it. So you can have 1 on each team and therefore be able to get your high... That's probably your best shot you have at getting maximum rewards from Memory of Chaos every like 2 weeks. So yeah, that's why I'm summoning on Jing Yuan. Well, obviously I like the character, I like follow-up attacks in general, I think that's really cool, but a thing we have to remember is also his use, and that's why I want to summon him, because his use for me will be a big deal in Memory of Chaos. Now, another thing you need to really worry about when you're looking at these banners, let me hop on close to the mic for this one, is the 4 stars. Yep, the 4 stars are extremely important on this banner. Now, I own 2 of these. I don't own Xu Sheng yet, so take my opinion of her with a grain of salt when we eventually get to that. Ting Yun is probably the strongest attack support in the game, right? The first half of her attack support is kind of whatever. The issue is that it's capped off in the first half of her skill. Her skill gives like an attack, 2 attack buffs to allies. The first attack buff gives like 32% of the allies' attack as a buff, which is huge, but it's limited by like 18% of her own attack stat. These numbers go up later, but the issue with that is you need to somehow make it that 18% of Ting Yun's attack stat is equal to 32% of your DPS. The character's built for attack. You want to make sure that it's like 80% of Ting Yun's attack stat is equal to 32% of your DPSs. That's not realistic for most cases. Maybe when we get to really far end game, but for now most people do not have such an insane attack stat. Like if I look at my Sela with her like relics and everything equipped, right, which I have a crit damage piece, right, so she could have had higher attack if I wanted to for some weird reason, but I could have, right? I calculated that if it counts relic stats, right, and like cone stats and all that kind of stuff, so anything beyond just the base attack stat, if she had no relics, no cones, no nothing, right, then you would have needed 3.9 thousand attack stat on Ting Yun. Now don't let this distract you, because the second attack buff that Ting Yun gives to your character is absolutely insane. For me it's like 26% of their so whenever your ally that is buffed by her attacks, right, it takes 1 stack away from Ting Yun. Now Ting Yun can hold up to 3 stacks. She gets 3 stacks every time she uses her skill, right? So when the ally that got buffed by her skill doesn't attack, 26% of the damage dealt or of the attack stat is applied as an additional hit of lightning damage. The reason why that's so important is because it counts as a different element. It means that if you use your Sela, you do like 3 hits of quantum and 1 hit of lightning with her skill. Type diversity makes that absolutely insane. So yeah, she gives a lot of attack buffs. Her ultimate is also really good. Her ultimate at base, without any dupes in her, makes it so that she regenerates 50 energy in a single ally's ult, and gives them an attack buff for 2 turns. Now, for people who do not know how ult and energy rates and all that work, from my experience and what I have looked at so far, characters have either 100, 110, or 120 energy tanks. So that's basically their ult. So they might need 120 energy to do their ult, 110 energy, or 100. If there's like 105 and 115 in there somewhere, do let me know. I probably overlooked them, but that's that. So basically what that means is that you'll be giving for characters like Sela 40% roughly of their ult charge and an attack buff for 2 turns. That's absolutely huge, because Sela has 120, right? But for example, let's say, oh man, we're really close to like we're low on HP. My healer will not be able to heal everybody. I don't want to rely on Bailu's RNG, and I'm nowhere near close to Bailu's ult. Or Natasha, who can only heal 1 target at a time, nowhere close to ult. You can do, for example, you can buff Natasha. So while Natasha will not do a lot of damage, she'll be able to get a healing ult. Or Japard, who has 100 energy required to do his ultimate. You can just straight up give him half his ult back and then put the shield up, and because of the shield you're able to live longer. I have had like 1 moment where I basically had to use her ult on somebody other than my DPS, and it saved my ass. Now next up is March 7th. Now March 7th is a absolutely top tier character. I wouldn't put her at like S tier, but like her utility is amazing, right? So what she does is, her damage is kind of wonky, but she can apply a shield on an ally and increase the aggro on that ally. Now, I don't fully remember if that's the end of that, or if there was like some kind of other defensive buff. Here, let's see. Yeah, she puts a shield that can absorb damage equal to 45% of March 7's defense, plus 475 for 3 turns. If the ally's current percentage is higher than 30% or higher, greatly increase the chance of enemies attacking that ally. So you can, and she purifies. She removes a debuff. This is huge, right? Being able to put more aggro on a character, which is what we call it when you increase the chance for enemies to hit them, is very useful, because, for example, you could combo this with Clara, right? And therefore Clara will have shield, so she'll have the defense, and she'll get debuffs removed from her, and she'll have higher aggro, so for more counters. While we're here anyway, I might as well... the mid relic set that I have on her right now still needs a bit more work, but it is what it is for now. She can counter. So she can counter 2 times per turn, and she counters whenever an ally with a shield gets hit. it doesn't have to be her shield. So let's say you have Flame MC or you have Japard and you apply a shield on your allies. If allies get hit with those shields on, this will also trigger the counter. Very important detail. So an issue with March 7 is that her damage is not all that good, right? Especially her counter damage, since you want to build her mainly defensively. This 4th dupe right here allows her to counter more than one more time per turn, so up to 3, and she does more damage based on the counter, based on how high her defense is, which is exactly what she needs, because now at least her damage will be a lot more noticeable, so to say. Now let's go right back to the banner. Next up we have Xu Shang. I don't know anything about her. I read her kit. She seems like a really strong single target berserk character who will be able to break enemies very quickly. I think she will be like Asta in the sense that you probably want break effect on her more than anything else. But it could be that she's a very strong DPS. I don't have her. I haven't been able to test her out yet, so I do not know. But yeah, that's a general synopsis of the banner. Now, do I think it's worth it, right? Do I think summoning on this banner worth it? If you don't have Jing Yuan, I would highly recommend summoning on the banner, at least to get her, right? If you really like March 7, this is your chance to get those 4 dupes that you need to unlock probably her biggest damage buff that she'll get. Xu Shang, don't know anything about her. If I pull her later tonight, then let's go. I got that. Speaking of which, later tonight the banner will come out and we will be streaming, little plug, live on Twitch in the description down below. This video should be up way before I do my summons, because I'm on EU. Way before I do my summons, so if you guys do want to see if I am right now live summoning, make sure to check out the description down below. But yeah, then we get the Jing Yuan. Like I said, my purpose for summoning for Jing Yuan is because I like him as a character, which I need to, because if I don't like somebody as a character, I don't summon for them most of the time. And also because a secondary S tier Sela level DPS will help me in Memory of Chaos. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this banner in the comment section down below. And I especially, if you're going to summon for Jing Yuan, please let me know why. Because I have now heard a million people telling me, this is why I'm not summoning, I'm skipping for this, I'm skipping for that. But like, not that I mind, by the way, it's completely valid to skip if you want to save for something else, I'm just joking. But like, I would love to hear reasons why people actually do want to summon, because I'm starting to feel like I am the only person here who's actually summoning for him, because everybody's saying that they're skipping. So yeah, do let me know. Share your views with me. I will read them all. I want to thank everybody so much for joining on in. I've been your host, Damon519. I'll see you all if I can find the stop record button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.